And what's up, y'all? What's up? Welcome to Sexy Harlem's Space. I'm just going to sit here for a little minute to see if anyone comes in, and then I can get on with the reason why I'm here. Tell 'em I apologize. No, it's much for coming through and supporting me. Let me turn this music off since I got one person in here. Oh, check out the wait a minute. Metropolitan now the damn ad wants to come through. Fridays and Saturdays. Tour the galleries, then enjoy drinks with friends out the Hold Garden. Every weekend there's Okay. Now I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Now, the reason why I'm doing this live is because today is May 1st, and May marks the um, Lupus Awareness Month. Now, I have lupus. Not too many people know that, but I do. I have lupus, and I've had lupus. I was diagnosed in 1998. Oh, hey, outspoken. I was diagnosed in 1998. So every day of May, I'm gonna yes, yes. All right, a queen stands alone, then you already know. So I'm gonna come through every day in May and drop a lupus awareness fact. Now, let me go down here. And since today is May the 1st, I'm going to read the first lupus awareness fact. And number one is lupus is an inflammatory multi-system autoimmune disease of unknown cause that may impact virtually any organ system in the body. That's number one. And that's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Okay. I know many people with lupus, many people. It's been a while since I've been to lupus meeting, and I'm going to try and do my best to make one. Oh, yeah, Queen stands alone. Yes, very informative, very informative. And not many people know that oh God. Come on, knock it off now. All these messages better not start coming in. The knock you hearing is my phone. But not many people know that your skin is the largest organ that you have on your body. And for me, that's what the lupus has been attacking. The lupus has been attacking my skin. Okay. And that's how it started out for me in 1998. It was attacking my skin, and I didn't know what was going on. At that time, I had gotten into a fight, and in the year of 1998, I had gotten into a fight, and I came over to see my mother, and my mother asked me what happened to my face, and I told her, yeah, right, right, yeah, face, arms, chest, and hair, yes, and I had gotten into a fight. So the person that I had to fight with scratched me on my nose, on the left side of my nose. So, me being young, I thought that, I could put cocoa butter on it and it would go away. Child, it didn't go nowhere. Okay. It didn't go anywhere. So my mother basically told me, you need to take your ass to the doctor. And, my mother only cursed when she was pissed off or upset. And I guess I was upsetting her at that point. So she basically begged me to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and I'm thinking, oh, it's not going to be anything serious. You understand? Well, when I went to the doctor, and I told him what happened, he said, well, what we can do is take a biopsy. So they took the biopsy from my chin, and I still have that mark on my face right now. They took the biopsy, and you know what a biopsy is. It's like a cookie cutter. Okay, they want some of your skin. So they did the biopsy, and they gave me a stitch or two, and sent me on my way and told me, we want you to come back next week and check in with us. So they gave me an appointment, and I went home, thinking it wasn't anything serious. So I went back the next week, and uh, the doctor that had seen me, he wasn't there. Now, this doctor is well known. He's one of the top rheumatologists in New York State, and I'm still under his care right now. So at that time, I didn't know, his, how broad of a spectrum his education was in this field. So he wasn't there that day when I went. It was three other doctors that came in to talk to me, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, Deanna, I just learned how to go live, girl. I just learned how to do it." um, yeah, and I have a lot of videos on private, but I'll get back to that in a second. But I went, and I was in the room with, and those three doctors came in, and I said, okay, they had scared looks on their faces. They was I guess they were afraid because they didn't know how I was going to react. So I said, okay, what were the test results? And they started looking at each other, and I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me I got cancer or anything like that. So I said, what's the problem? And they said, well, the female doctor said to me, Miss Sampler, you have lupus. So I said, I wasn't educated at the time. So I said, okay, well, give me the pill, give me the shot, and let me go on about my business. I got things to do. Shit, I was going out that night. Me being young at that time, it wasn't, I wasn't educated, like I said. So she took a step back, and the two male doctors looked at each other, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So the female doctor said, there is no cure for lupus. And I said, what? And it wasn't until then that she said that I was like, oh shit. I said, so what? Am I going to die? What's going on? They said, no, you're not going to die. So at this point, I was upset, but I wasn't, it just didn't hit me. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, I didn't know what it was. So the two male doctors left and left the female doctor in there with me. And she told me, she said, Crystal, no, there's no cure at this time. She said, but we're working on it. She said, you're not alone. There's at least 1 million people in the same space that you are in right now. She said, but thank God we caught it. She said, because had we not detected it now, it could have gotten worse, and you would be worse off, you know. So I said, okay, so what's the next step? And she said, well, we're going to give you some cream to put on that scar, and we're going to see how that does. She said, we're also going to give you a medication called chloroquine. So I said, all right, well, how long am I going to have to take this medication? Because again, now it still ain't dawning on me that this was a lifetime thing. Because remember, I'm young, okay? So she told me, she said, well, we're going to give you an appointment for 6 weeks. You come back and see us in 6 weeks. And she said, make sure you use this cream on this area twice a day. So I said, okay. I left and I, got the prescription and I left and I came home to the apartment that I'm sitting in right now. Okay. So my mother, my mother wasn't home. She was at work. And when she came in, I was sitting at the table and she said, okay, I know you went back to the doctor. So what did the doctor say? So I said, well, I said, this is really stupid, Mom. I said, the doctor said I have lupus, whatever that is. Do you know that my mother sat at that table and she cried? And I could not understand why the hell she was crying. I'm like, I said, Ma, it's not that bad. Why are you crying? She said, Crystal, you just don't understand. You don't understand. You don't know what it is, but I know what it is. Okay. And I just said, well, I still didn't get it, but I consoled my mother. You understand? I consoled my mother, and I told her, I said, Ma, it's not that bad. Please don't cry. I was telling my mother everything. Shoot, I was promising her a date with Jesus. I'm telling you. So just so she could stop crying. I didn't like when my mother cried. You know what I mean? And my mother being an Aries, it took a lot for her to cry. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an Aries too. My me and my mother were born in the same month. I was born April the 4th, and my mother was born April the 13th. So, um, I'm sorry for the noise, y'all. My phone is knocking right now. So thank you, Deanna. Thank you, Deanna. So time went on. You know what I'm saying? Time went on, and that was 1998. So, nobody said, oh, you got to stay out of the sun. You got to, your whole life is going to change. Yeah, Tracy's World. I know you are Aries too, but, and thank you for coming over. Um, my mother passed away in 2003. But between the years of 1998 and 2003, I really didn't get the concept of what was happening to me. You understand? I didn't know that you had to stay out of the sun. I didn't know that you're basically your whole life changes and you have to adjust it to this lupus. I didn't know that. You understand what I'm saying? No, nobody told me that. And at that time, people had computers and stuff like that, but I didn't have the knowledge of, knowing how to use a computer. You know what I'm saying? So I just went on. You understand? I didn't change anything. As a matter of fact, I started rebelling. Okay. I said, fuck the medication. I ain't taking a motherfucking thing. Okay. I ain't taking shit. I'm just gonna do me. Well, um, in the year 2000, I paid for that doing me shit. You understand? Hey, Felicia M, how you doing? Thank you for coming over. Um, I in the year 2000, I just said the hell with it. I'm gonna do me, and I don't give a damn, and blah blah blah. Yeah, well, I paid for that. Okay, I paid for that dearly, and during this time, I was having painful ministrations. Okay, my menstruals used to be so painful on those first 3 days that I had to lay on the floor with my back on the floor and my legs up on the couch. Okay, that's what I had to do because they were so painful. Well, in the year 2000, I had to have surgery, okay, because I found out that I had 15 fibroid tumors in my uterus, and they brought a friend to the party, which was a cyst. Okay. Felicia M says, the title got my attention. I have SLE and fibromyalgia. Okay. All right. So do I. So, I mean, I don't have fibromyalgia, but I have what's called discoid lupus. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, and I am a proud member of Club Chat as well. So I had surgery to remove the 15 fibroid tumors and the cyst that had twisted my left ovary. My left ovary was twisted around on itself, and it was so bad that there was no blood flowing. You understand? So they had to take that ovary as well. Now, mind you, I don't have any children. I've been pregnant, but I don't have any children. Okay. So I went on after, and during that surgery, it was a terrible thing. Okay. After I came to, the doctors told me, it was like maybe a day later. The doctors came in and they told me, they said, listen, you almost bled out. You almost bled out. This is what they told me. You almost bled out. You lost a lot of blood. Okay. And you are going to have a transfusion. I said, a trans what? We're going to have to give you blood, Miss Sampler, because if we don't, you're going to die. Mind you now. Oh, God. I don't know who that is. But anyway, um, mind you now, my mother she was a Jehovah Witness. Okay. And if you know anything about that religion, you know that they don't do blood transfusions. Now, I said my mother was a Jehovah Witness, not me. Okay. So my mother was sitting there when they came in. You understand? And they, told me, if you don't take this blood, you're going to die. The doctor stood there for 5 seconds. My mother said, if you take that blood, I'm walking out. So the doctor had the clipboard in his hand with the pen. What do you think I did? What do you think I did? I told him, I said, pour it in a cup, give me a straw, I'll drink it like that. This blood got to get got. You understand what I'm saying? I signed the paper and my mother got up and walked out. Okay? Yes, she did. So, believe it or not, after they gave me that blood transfusion, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like somebody just zapped some energy into me. You understand what I'm saying? I was even though I had the fibroid tumors removed, they called that a myomectomy. Okay, so once, and I had to get four bags, 4 bags of blood. Okay, all right, I got my little 4 bags of blood over that time. That next morning, I was able to get out of bed. The day before, I couldn't get out of bed. I was too damn weak. You understand? But once they gave me that blood, I was running around that nurse's station with that pole. Okay, because they told me, yeah, 4 units. They told me that I have to walk after this surgery. I had to walk. So my mother came back, but I wasn't in the room. Yes, God is good. My mother came back, but I wasn't in the room. My mother started raising all kinds of hell. Where's my daughter? Y'all done gave her that blood and now she going over, girl. I said, Mom, right here. She said, you up and out the bed? I said, yeah. They gave me the blood and now I'm up and I'm moving around. Okay. Let's fast forward. Oh God, my computer and next time I go live, I'm gonna mute my notifications. I'm gonna mute my notifications the next time. I'm sorry, y'all, but I got over that and I got through that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's when I found out. The doctor, the rheumatologist, that's one of the best in New York State that I'm under right now. He came in and he talked to me and he told me, you're going to have to adjust your life. I said, well, nobody told me that. He said, that's my fault. Somebody should have told you. He said, you have to stay out of the sun. You have to take this medication and you have to stay under a doctor's care. He said, because right now you can live a good 25 years with this disease. So I said, you giving me a time limit? He said, we can't foresee the future. He said, with this lupus, you could be here today and gone tomorrow. Now, anybody that has lupus knows that's the truth, okay? Because you could be, running around and doing all this one day, and the next day you're in bed and you can't move. Yes, 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 Felicia M. Everything came to a halt. Yes. So now, after he told me that, and my mother was okay with the fact that I had took the blood and I was still alive. Let's move forward to when was that? That was 2000. Let's move forward to 2001. I had to have another surgery because 5 of the fibroids came back and they brought their little friend, the cyst, again. Okay? So I had to have another surgery. This time they had, now before they didn't take my uterus. This time they had to take my uterus. Okay? And I was cool with it. They wanted to, they wanted me to go see a psychiatrist and all of this because of the fact that, when you take a woman's uterus, that means she can't have children. Well, guess what? I would rather have no uterus and no children than to have those fibroids keep coming back every fucking year, and I got to keep having surgery because remember now we in the year 2001. Okay, this was 18 years ago. All right. So now I went on and I had that surgery. Okay. And they took my uterus. They left me with one ovary because they didn't want to push me into menopause. You understand? If they would have taken the other ovary, I would have instantly went into menopause. Okay, so they didn't want that to happen. So they took the uterus. Okay, and they got that little friend, the sis, as well. So now that was 2001. In 2003, my mother passed away. And she passed away from brain cancer, right? So, yeah, yeah. And a queen stands alone. I still have great doctors. I do. I go to Bellevue Hospital, but I'm also hooked with um NYU as well. You understand what I'm saying? So those two combined together, I get great care, wonderful care. So my mother passed away in 2003, and that was real hard for me to deal with because my father had passed on when I was 19. Okay. And that was in 1993, I believe. No, 1983. My father passed away. So now we go to 2003, and my mother passes away. Now I have no parents. Okay, no parents, and two crazy sisters that live here in New York, and 18 brothers and sisters in Georgia. Okay, so now that was and still is a hard thing for me to deal with that my mother isn't here. And not only that, she entrusted me to take care of her whole entire funeral. Okay, she didn't want the other two sisters that I had up here with me to take care of her funeral arrangements because she said she know that they'll bury her in the park somewhere. Okay. I mean, it was a running joke, but I didn't find it funny. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find it funny that I had to be the one to take care of everything. And I'm the baby. I'm the baby on both sides of my family. On my father's side, with all my brothers and sisters on that side, I'm the baby, and I'm the baby on this side. Thank you very much, Felicia M, for your condolences. So 2000 and 2003, I had to deal with that. Not only that, during that time, I was, running between um, taking care of her. We had to put her in hospice. And, according to hospice, if you don't die in a certain amount of time, then they're going to ship you out to another hospice place. And that's exactly what happened with my mother. She didn't die fast enough for them. So we had to go through two hospice places. You know what I'm saying? So now, um, me dealing with that fact that she passed on, and I'm living in the same apartment where I was raised, not raised, but we moved to Harlem when I was 13. So we got into everybody, has this thing about the projects. Well, that's where I live. Okay. But I'm still in this apartment. You know what I'm saying? And some days I don't care what nobody say, and I don't care, how anybody else feel. But when I lost my mother, that was like losing a piece of me that I could never get back. Okay, a view is a view is live, y'all. Um, but that was a piece of me that I could never get back. And you know what I'm saying? I just sometimes I feel lost without my mother. You understand what I'm saying? But life goes on, and I know she doesn't want me to dwell in that space. You understand what I'm saying? So I keep it moving. You understand? And that's how I've been living my life. Trust me, I've had more tribes and tribulations, but we'll get into that as I, go on with the lupus facts. But that one fact about lupus being an autoimmune disease, and it's inflammatory, and it's a multi system thing, is true. It is true. The medication that I'm on right now is called Dapzone, Dapsone. Okay. And with this medication, they have to watch my kidneys and my liver. So they're watching the creatinine, and they want me to take blood every time I go in for a appointment. I have to take blood. And sometimes it can be 3 tubes of blood, sometimes it can be five. If it's on a bad day, it can be as high as 18 tubes of blood. Okay. I don't know what they do with all this blood. Don't ask me. I don't know if they having vampire parties and shit. I don't know. Okay. But I do know that it can go from 1 tube to as high as 18. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the lupus is attacking my skin. Okay. As it stands right now, I have 2 lesions on my left arm and one on my right. So I just went Monday and I had an appointment, and they're injecting these lesions with steroids so they can flatten to the skin, you understand, and just, you know, not totally and completely go away. That's not going to happen. Hey, Slade by Lex, thanks for coming over. Hey, Clouds Child, thanks for coming over. Yeah, it is a lot to deal with at once, but if you think that's something, I've been through much, much more. Much, much more. You understand? And um it's hard. It is hard. And the reason why they were giving me this DAP zone is because a small lesion broke out on the right side of my face. And before I knew anything, it got worse. The cream wasn't working. I've been through so many medications. Either they don't work, or I'm allergic to them, like Imuran. That medication I cannot take at all. Once I swallow it, I'm throwing up. You understand? So they put that on the allergic side. Um, what else can I tell y'all? I've been through so much. A lot of people look at me and they have no idea what I've been through. They have no idea what I have been through. Okay. Let me see. Okay, in 2011, I went in to the doctor. As a matter of fact, I had been sick for like 2 weeks, and I couldn't eat. You understand? All I was doing was laying in the bed, and that went on for 2 weeks in 2011. So I happened to go to the bathroom one time, and I was peeing blood. Okay. So now I'm urinating blood. So I got scared. You understand? Now I know it's more than a flare, because a flare can have you down for like 2, 3 days. And this was a real bad one. So I called the ambulance and they came and they got me. They took me to the nearest hospital, which, is like maybe seven, no, about 10 blocks away from here. So they took me to the hospital and I told them my history as much as I could. I told them who my doctor was, what type of lupus I had, and what I was being treated for, the medications I was taking. Right, exactly, Felicia M. Um, so when they got back to me, and the emergency room was crowded, it was really crowded this night. They told me, because they took blood work, and they told me that my platelets were at a 9. So my platelets being that low, that's telling me that I got one foot on the banana peel and the other one in the grave. Okay. Child. What they had to do was, yeah, a 9. What they had to do was they had to put me under. Okay, and my wife couldn't get there fast enough because she wasn't here at my house. She was at her house in another borough. Okay, she was in Queens. So I had enough time to call her on the phone and tell her where I was and tell her what was getting ready to happen. So by the time she got there, and we talking within an hour, okay, they had me hooked up to so many machines. I don't remember anything. After they knocked me out, I don't remember nothing. Yeah, I went to ICU, straight to ICU. Okay. I stayed, I must have stayed in ICU for like a week before I woke up. Okay. And when I woke up, the reason why I woke up is because I felt this cold stuff on my body. And I opened my eyes and I asked the CNA, I said, "What time is it?" And she said, "It's 2:30 in the morning." She said, "I'm just washing you up and everything." I said, "Well, where am I?" She said, "You're in ICU right now." I said, "ICU?" She said, "Yes, Miss Sampler, you're really, really sick." So after that, I went back to sleep. I mean, she washed me up, she changed my sheets, she fluffed my pillow, and she was out. Okay. Changed my gown and everything. I woke up the next day, and I kid you not, when I opened my eyes, I saw, and this is no shit, I don't lie about shit like this. I saw something black sitting in a chair over by the door. Okay. And I started saying the Lord's Prayer. Okay. I started saying the Lord's Prayer, and I closed my eyes and I said the Lord's Prayer. And when I opened my eyes, it was gone. Okay. So I said, "Thank you, God." And I sat up. I tried to sit up, but I was, hooked up to a heart monitor, and I had a fucking IV in my arm. And I said, "You know what? I'm going to try to find a way, to sit up." So I used the controls on my bed to raise my head. And I did everything I could to scoop my booty back. I ain't got that much booty. So when my wife came, my eyes were open and I was sitting upright. And she came in and she started crying. She said, honey, honey, oh my God, your eyes are open. I said, well, damn. Did y'all think I was going to die? She said, yeah, that's what the doctors was talking about. I said, what? So, see, with lupus, you just never know. Okay? You never know. With my platelets being that low, they had to give me plasmapheresis. Okay? And plasmapheresis is like it's like dialysis. It's like a dialysis machine. They giving you plasma. That's going in and the bad blood is coming out. It's like a washing machine for blood. Let's put it that way. So they started me off with like 20 bags. No, 22 bags. Okay. 22 bags. And they had to give me Benadryl. They had to give me a Benadryl shot before because it made me itch. That first round made me itch. So they knew that I was allergic. So they had to give me Benadryl. Now, I'm laying there and I'm getting these 22 bags, but in the interim, I have to pee. You understand? So they had to slide the bedpan under me a few times because they're pumping things into me. And the only way for it to come out is I have to pee. And they can't stop the procedure so I can go to the bathroom. You understand? Oh God, this right here in 2011 really made me, yeah, yeah, just like an infusion. Oh, and I went through those too. Okay, so now I went through 22 bags, and then they had to come back in 2 days to do this procedure all over again. It was every 2 days I had to go through this procedure. Okay? It was no joke. All right? And if I didn't take all of this serious before, I knew at that time I had to change my lifestyle. And I had to change my lifestyle in accordance to the lupus. Okay, that's how I had to change it. It was no more with the masking and no more with the playing around or I ain't listening to this and I ain't doing that. No, because a bitch had one foot on the banana peel and the other one in the grave. And I was not ready to go. I had so many other things that I had to do. You understand? So, oh, you are most definitely welcome. A queen stands alone. Girl, you can complain all you want to, because I damn sure do. I still whine. Shit. Honey child, I still whine. Yes, I do. I still whine and I still complain. I just do it where nobody else can hear me. Most of the time I'm complaining and I'm whining to myself. You know what I'm saying? Um, yes, ma'am. We've been at death's door so many times. Yes, yes. Most definitely. And this wasn't the only hospital stay that I've had. Okay. So now they got it all the way down to one bag. Now, mind you, I had a pick in my neck. Okay. Now, I don't know if y'all know what that is when they put a pick in your neck. It's like a direct line. Like we have a lot of veins and the main veins go to the heart. It's a few main veins that go to the heart. So they had to find that vein in my neck, okay? And they put that pick in my neck. That means they could pump the medication through and um they couldn't get blood out of this pick. They had to stick me to get blood. Yeah, pick line. Exactly. Exactly. That's just what it is. So, oh girl, I don't want no more pick lines, okay? Felicia, I don't want no more pick lines, okay? That pick line made me feel like a total alien, okay? So they finally got me down to one bag. And, at that time, they were saying, during the process between 22 bags and one bag, I really had to keep up on how my platelets were doing. I would ask them every day, and they would say, "Oh, they're up. They're up today. They're up to 12." Then they would come back 2 days later and go, "Oh, they're down to 8." You understand what I'm saying? Yes, them pick lines are uncomfortable. So it was a battle. You understand? But I knew that I was strong enough to withstand this battle because I wasn't going to let this shit take me out. Okay? I had fought through and I wasn't going to let nothing or no one take me out. So I went on, you understand? And when it came time for them to let me go home, they said, well, we can set it up so that you can have a home health aide and blah. I said, I don't want all that. I don't need all that. I don't want nobody going to the store for me. I don't want nobody mopping my floors and all that. No, just let me go home. I can do all that myself. They said, well, Miss Sampler, um, I've gotten down to a pick line in my arm now. Good. Very good, Felicia M. And that's if I ever have to have a pick line again, that's what I want them to do. I want them to put it in my arm. So, uh, removing the pick line is something else as well. Oh, hold on, y'all, because my phone is doing some shit. Hold on for a second. Oh God. Okay, hopefully it'll come back up. But can y'all still hear me? Y'all can still hear me, right? Y'all should be able to still hear me, I hope. But anyway, the whole process it's really it's horrifying. And I know, yeah, just get me home, I'll do fine. And when you've been in the hospital for so long, and when you've been in the hospital for so long and you step out of that hospital and into the world, it's like um you oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Hold on, y'all. Damn it. This damn thing. Hold on, y'all. What the hell? Can y'all still hear me? Cause I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh God. Hello? Oh God. Hello? Hello? Oh no 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 no. Okay. Hello? Oh, I'm still here. Damn it. I'm like, where the fuck did everybody go? All right, well, listen, I couldn't get to the screen, but I'm at the screen now. So what I'm gonna do is I'll come back tomorrow with another lupus fact. I have class tomorrow, so uh I have class tomorrow, so I will come in maybe around about the same time. So thank you for all y'all that did come over, and I'll check y'all tomorrow. Later.